Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm Sank84 and welcome to Star Trek Resurgence, a narrative game based in the Star Trek universe that has not long come out. And, well, I've got mixed feelings about this. But before we get to that, for anybody who doesn't know, narrative games are just basically a story game you play along with. You make choices, them choices affect the overall outcome of the game at the end. Very simple, can be quite fun, can be very hard to do. There are a number of narrative games out there that just fall flat. However, there are several narrative games out there that I think are really enjoyable. So yes, that's why I am a little bit worried about this, because it can be pretty hit and miss. Although, Star Trek, I mean, there's a lot that can go wrong with it, but there's also a lot you can get right, and I cannot wait to find out more about this. So, yeah, I've enjoyed a lot of the old school Star Trek games, so when I saw this drop, I thought I had to give it a look and see how they have come across and how they have done it. You know what? Let's get in and let's enjoy.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydak. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's good. Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Okay, and yeah, one of the good things about this is you don't have to listen to me talking over and over again. Although I would like to have, yes, been given a bit more notice about them events then, because I hope I get more chance to read what I'm actually going to be saying and doing before I actually, you know, have to, because that was a timer and I just hit a random button. I hope it was the right one.
Starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Okay, and oh, okay, I've got to admit it is really beautiful to look at. So okay. Yeah, there's no running in here, unfortunately. Right, let's go and check in and see. Oh, you did join us in the end.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Okay, fine. Right. I mean, we've got to be nice. It's Starfleet and all, but hey, that doesn't mean, yeah, when we get out there, we're going to be as nice to everybody else. We ain't going to be no pushovers, but he is an ensign after all, so... Oh, I can now actually move a bit faster. Good. Okay, let's,
If I remember my briefing,
get around.
Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Okay, so that'll be him over there. But before we do that, can we introduce ourselves to anybody else?
You're going to the Resolute too?
Yeah.
By the look, oh, I'm gonna say by the looks of it, no. But there is something around here we can. Oh, maybe you we can talk to. Hello. Yeah, you're lost. Let's have a look. What?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Okay, great. We're going to have a crew of absolute imbeciles who can't even keep their nerve while flying and can't even find the way to their own ship. Brilliant! Alright. Well, let's have a look what we've got.
128 has 4 docks.
Okay. And he couldn't find one of 4. Brilliant. Okay, who are you?
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Okay, that wasn't really what I was doing. I kind of knew he was there, but...
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Yeah, we're not going to steal a meal yet. Just cut through there. That's fine. Hello, you want to see me? Oh, get ready for quick time events.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
I wonder what would happen if I don't pick an answer.
We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework?
Like I said, we're very lucky. The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time. And I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Okay, before we do that then, alright, we can actually have a look at, yeah, how we're doing with people and what they think of us. I like that. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's not going to affect our choices going on, because we'll treat people, you know, depending on how they are with us. Alright, so yeah, they're both happy with us.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Oh, that's rare to be controlling different people. Normally you've got your character and you stick with them. Alright, fine. Right, you're stuck. Let's have a look. Yeah, the plasma torch. I'm gonna say, yeah. Oh, a minute. Ah, there we go. Just make sure it's in the right spot. Fine. Okay. Okay, it's easy enough to do. Nope. Okay. Just learning some of the basic mechanics. Fine. Oh. Ah! Ow, that hurt me wrist. I went a bit too far with that then.
Is that?
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Okay, so, as I say, I'm not really big on, narratives, but on all the ones that I've played, we're always stuck with just the one person. It's weird to have someone else to control. Okay,
Come on!
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense in zero G. You're welcome.
Alright, well, you know what?
So clean I can see myself.
Carter
And
Diaz!
you know what? Not half bad.
Okay, fine. Well, we've helped him out. Right, I'm coming. Is this the right way? Yeah. Sorry, I was just helping somebody out. Where am I going now? Oh.
Good to see her fully operational again. And if she breaks, we'll just fix her.
If you say so. Right. Oh, okay. Try and remember that. I'll probably forget. I will probably actually end up forgetting about that. And it'll probably come in, I'm going to need that information.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for is something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Edstelar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edstelar on repeated occasions.
Well, Commander Chovak, isn't it true that if we were almost late, it categorically means that we were not late?
That is correct, Mr. Diaz.
I mean, if anything, Edstelar and I are following the schedule to the letter.
Yes, perhaps I should adjust the schedule accordingly.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
I guess he didn't like that little sarcastic comment.
Yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
How concerned should we be about the storm? Are you worried?
Vulcans do not worry. We calculate the variables and take appropriate precautions to mitigate the risk. Right now, that entails making critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
Okay, I don't think we're going to be getting on with him that much.
Oh, what's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They may not be the same crew we started out with. But they're still Starfleet. They'll know what to do when the time comes.
I prefer the scientific method. Evidence over assumptions. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Okay, out we go for a lovely spacewalk. Whee!
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Okay, looks like we're switching back again. Oh.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of Duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of Duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Okay, let's get exploring there. Well, first things first, replicate. Okay, the doors won't open for me. 5. Right, can we get anything from the replicator or not? We can.
Just a sip of something.
Oh, we're going to have... Ooh.
Decisions.
Yeah. You know what? Let's have a nice cup of tea.
Tea.
Nothing wrong with a nice cup of tea. Because I've got one right next to me as well. So that's why I made that choice.
That's lovely.
Well, that's a waste.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggested several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that, for me, will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Okay, well, he seemed to like that, so, okay. I guess we're off now to... Well, wait, some weird ship corridors, but okay, I'm guessing we're going to get a tour of the ship at some point.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
That's very kind of you to say, but enough about me. We have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, that wasn't the outcome I was hoping for, but never mind.
Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Oh, and we get to sit in the captain's chair. Very nice. Okay, let's have a quick nosy around.
Operations, staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Yes. Okay, and... Oh, a minute. There we go.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Okay, that tells me we're going to be getting into some space battles, but, you know, that's kind of expected in these sort of games.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Okay, and I'm guessing security... Yeah, tactical.
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready.
Right, okay. Yeah, when I said about not talking about me, I was actually hoping it would be a case of talking about her and finding out more about her, but never mind, it ended the conversation a bit early. Right, let's sit and see where we go.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Okay.
Mission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field. Now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
I wonder what would happen if we didn't turn it off.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, I have no idea what tools to use. I'm so glad he does.
Beginning recalibration.
Okay, I'm guessing it's just, yeah. No, get up. Up that. No, get. A minute. I hope I'm clicking on the right things here.
Careful.
I don't.
Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Right. Okay. What am I meant to be? Where am I meant to be getting this? I don't know. Is that right? Ah, I get it. I'm meant to be getting that into the middle. Right. Sorry. There we go. Took me a minute to figure it out, but got there in the end.
That wasn't so hard.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
In my entire career, it's never been an issue, or caused the slightest problem. And I don't expect this to be any different.
I was just curious, that's all.
I don't like him.
Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends.
Mr. Westbrook, if you have some kind of problem with me, and you just met me so it has nothing to do with me, you're gonna have to figure out how to get over it. Because I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. I'll stick to science. That is what this ship is for.
Very well.
Oh yeah, I told you, I ain't gonna be no pushover.
Let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the...
Red alert!
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat, so we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Petrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
It can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Okay, let's just go and save the ship again. Come on. There we go. Switch the fuses and we're good.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Ooh, Okay, okay, man. Am I gonna have to actually do anything? Or no, it's just pull one thing out, put it in another, it's fine. Yeah. Switch over the sticks and we're good.
USS Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Oh, okay. We might actually have... Yeah. Are we gonna have fights in this later on?
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but... you know.
Okay, right. Use your phaser to clear a path. Cool. Right, oh. Yeah, watch out. Oh, it's not like... Oh, need to actually pull the phaser out again and fire it. Okay, fine. No, down you go. Yeah, let's try not to shoot her. Ow! Oh.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Still took most of it.
Okay, that is closer than I thought it was. I thought we'd have been okay with that.
60%.
Yeah, just keep an eye out around because, yeah, we're not going to get past there. Move out the way, love. Right, I'll take that one. Down we go. Okay, okay. Bit more interesting than most, yeah, narratives. Thank you. Nearly down there. Bloody hell. I can't say anything because I've never been on a space war. Anybody wants to send me on one, I'll gladly accept. Yeah, this really slow.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
And now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Okay, I'll try my best. Thankfully, all the instructions are, you know, on screen.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing we've got to get them all lined up. So, wait a minute. No, that's not. Oh, okay. That's affecting a few of them. Oh, bloody hell! Wow. Okay, a minute.
EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
All right, fine. I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. That doesn't look like it did it. That looks like something went wrong. Please tell me that wasn't me. Duck!
DS to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We have
safest way to...
people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Yara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Oh no, I don't know! I don't know! Oh! Okay. I'm sorry!
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Grab my hand! I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on, get in here! Jeez! Come on! Go. Just keep it in the circle and... Thank you. About time you give me a hand. Nope.
I got you. Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Etzelar there to access the interior.
Right. Going there now.
Oh, look. Okay, things are really starting to pick up.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Okay, that was quicker than I thought it would be.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there!
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that. We made it.
They're safe. Bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Millie.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Armada?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me. You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information
You
I had.
disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information, so I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
And with that, I think we'll call it there. You get the point. This is Star Trek Resurgence, and this was just a quick introduction to the first part of it. And I'm not sure. It's got me intrigued. It's got me wanting to know more, but as you can tell, I've spent the last hour basically sat here watching an episode. There's not that much at the moment, but that could just be down to the introduction of it. I don't know. I'm going to leave it here for now, and let me know if you want to see any more of it. If you do, I'll find a spot somewhere down the line to do the next section, and we'll play it by ear. If not, well, if you want to look at it yourself, link in the description below, and I might look at this myself in my off time and see how it goes down the line, and maybe give you an update on it via one of the other social medias that I use. But in the meantime, I've been Sank84. This has been Star Trek Resurgence. Thank you so much for joining me. Look after each other, and until next time, goodbye.